Alternative history. What if the US hadn't landed on the moon? Imagine a world where July 1969 doesn't end with the triumphant US flag on the moon, but with headlines of the Apollo 11 mission failure, the rocket malfunctioned, and America lost its chance to be the first in space. Now, the space race has a new leader, the Soviet Union. In 1971, the red flag, with a hammer and sickle, proudly waves on the lunar surface. News outlets constantly highlight the Soviet Union's breakthrough. Cosmonaut Alexei Leonov becomes the first human to set foot on the moon, becoming an instant icon. The world is in awe, with Moscow celebrating its victory, while Washington faces a political crisis. Under pressure, the US president is forced to admit America has been defeated. The nation, which always prided itself as a leader in science and innovation, now finds itself overshadowed by the Soviet Union. But this defeat is only the beginning of a more dangerous chapter in human history. Space is no longer just a realm for scientific exploration. It has turned into a battleground. The military on both sides understands that controlling space means controlling the world. By 1975, the Soviet Union starts launching orbital stations. The first one, Soyuz Orbiter, becomes a base for a permanent human presence in space. But what are they really doing up there? The US suspects the Soviets are installing laser systems capable of disabling American spy satellites. America isn't sitting idly by. The Star Wars program accelerates rapidly. Secret launches of armed satellites occur regularly. In 1980, for the first time, two objects in Earth's orbit engage in a maneuver that leads to a collision. This incident raises alarm globally. Could this be the start of a space war? By 1985, the world is living in constant fear. The media is filled with speculation about potential space conflicts. Every new satellite launch is met with anxiety. Could it be a weapon? Then, the unthinkable happens. For the first time, space becomes a battlefield. An American satellite is suddenly knocked out of operation, and all signs point to an attack by the USSR. The world holds its breath. Will this spark World War III? But a full-scale war never materializes. Neither side wants to escalate to the point of Earth's destruction. Instead, a massive space arms race begins. By the 1990s, hundreds of weaponized satellites orbit the Earth, ready to engage at any moment. At the same time, China and Europe start their own space programs. Space no longer belongs to just the superpowers. China builds its own lunar module, and Europe launches an international space station. The political landscape shifts now. Dominance in the skies and outer space defines global power. Any conflict in space could have catastrophic consequences for Earth. How will humanity face this new challenge? How will the global economy evolve when space becomes the primary artery for resources and technology? By the end of the 20th century, people no longer look at the stars with wonder. Every time they gaze at the night sky, they are reminded that spy satellites and armed space stations are looming above, ready for conflict. What lies ahead? Will humanity finally abandon its military ambitions and use space for progress? Or is a space conflict inevitable? The world would be an entirely different place if America hadn't won the space race. Perhaps we would be closer to destruction than ever before. Or maybe humanity would have realized the importance of peace, even beyond Earth.